I think 3 on 4 is good.
Is that it?
नहीं इसको 4 on 4 चाहिए. They're typical Indian parents. तुम तो 98% वाले बंदे हो.
I wanted more than 4.
I'm also lying down. Fuck it.
Yeah, take chill. I'm not gonna put video of us. I'm just gonna put some like visuals while we're talking.
Okay.
But anyways, guys, welcome to the Geek Talk. This is a podcast. I hope you enjoy it. We have a membership now, so if you want to become a member, you can actually enjoy our uncut and unfiltered version, which our members can enjoy. But
You can enjoy my jokes uncut.
yeah, I don't think so. We may get cancelled. But anyways, guys, today's topic. I'm joined by Nona Prince, joined by Rohit Chatterjee and Sahil Mulchandani, who's married now and doesn't answer. Anyways, so today, if you guys don't know, there is a strike going on. WGA strike, Writers Guild Association, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and there's a lot of talks about AI. There's a lot of talks about what's the future, films getting delayed. If there are no superhero films, what videos will we make? So it's our bread and butter.
So the writers' strike started with with an ask for a minimum wage,
which is absolutely right.
and so basically there was a tweet by Eric Galindo, who's a part of WGA. If you're confused about the writers' strike, it's super basic. The studios want the option of having WGA writers to work for free or without an agreed upon weekly salary or even a day rate. And we actually want to get paid fairly for our work. This is where it started from. AI was one of the parts.
Just want to clarify here that Rohit is a writer himself. He's writing a film right now. So looking forward to that, everyone. But yeah, continue, Rohit. He has some personal things he can add to this discussion. So I hope it works for everyone.
Yeah, I will add some of my personal stuff. Of course, I will not give names, but I can talk about.
We want names,
stuff.
Rohit. Controversy! Controversy!
I can't do that.
Hey, we are joined by Harneet, guys. Welcome.
Hi, Harneet.
Chalo, I'm back finally.
Harneet, a little offensive joke. Like when Harneet wants a girl, what is he called? Horneet.
Very old joke.
What is the question?
Very
Is it?
old joke.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There was a Bengali professor in our college in MBA, right?
Oh,
And like
fuck.
he
He was a
you know how they call people, right? So
Horneet.
there was let's say there was a person named Anirban. So his name would be Anirban.
Anirban. It is Anirban only in Bengali. It's not Anirban. It's
And
Anirban.
my name is Harneet.
Horneet.
He would call me Horneet.
Horneet.
You know Rohit is a Bengali, right?
I'm Bengali. Yeah. You should know by my long paragraphs.
No stereotyping.
I know by your stereotypical, like what we say,
Surname.
surname. Yeah.
Thank God you don't have the accent. If I start talking in that accent, na.
See, he left. The moment he said accent, he left. But anyways, coming back to our point, yeah, Rohit, you were saying?
So these are some screenshots I have taken. From
Yeah, I'll put
websites.
it on screen. Everyone able to see it.
So the companies have used the transition to streaming to cut writer pay and separate writing from production, worsening working conditions for series writers at all levels. On TV staff, more writers are working at minimum regardless of experience, often for fewer weeks or in mini rooms, while showrunners are left without a writing staff to complete the season. And while series budgets have soared over the past decade, median writer-producer pay has fallen by... Median writer-producer pay has
4%.
declined 4%, and that's 23% adjusting by inflation.
Okay.
So I think if producers, right, are making... Zaslav made around 246.6 million. Bob Iger made 45.9 million. And here the writer of a show like The Bear, which just won an Emmy,
What a fabulous show, man.
Huh?
What a fabulous show.
I haven't watched it. Is it good?
Dude, it's amazing.
I will watch it. Pakka. So he did not... So the award for which he was going to accept, he had to rent his bow tie. His bank balance was in the negative.
I
And
read
उसका
that.
घर पे हीटर काम नहीं कर रहा था, लाइब्रेरी में बैठ के लिखना पड़ रहा था पूरा रात. I mean, writers should have basic compensation.
You know,
This is-
I want to like also know how it works. So I actually had asked you in the past, right? How it's worked, like how the payment, are you like hired? Like if you can share, maybe share your, if you know anyone in Hollywood, how the process works.
I don't know about Hollywood, but it's pretty similar in a way, like here also. So, producers do not like to hire experienced writers.
Okay.
Why? Because they have a vision of their own. नए writers को आप आराम से mold कर सकते.
But who's hiring? Is it the writer? Is it the director? Is it the showrunner?
It's usually production houses. Production houses sometimes hire. Usually equal representation रहती है. Showrunner किसी को लेता है, production house किसी को लेता है. वैसे writers room बनती है, you know, different people speaking for different parties. Okay, वैसे बनता है. So, for example, a production house can hire you. So right now I work with myself. So, but they actually allow a lot of creativity. I can speak for that, you know. कट कर देना please.
इधर लाइव एडिटिंग चला रहा है, चल ठीक है.
But like,
Say.
so I mean, and the distribution of wealth will always be unequal in a capitalist society. That is very fair. That's what capitalism is essentially. But this level of unfair, this level of distribution is very bad. I mean, at least घर चल जाना चाहिए एक राइटर का, क्योंकि राइटर के बिना शो नहीं होता. राइटिंग बेस है, उसके बिना कुछ नहीं है. क्या बनाओगे, क्या शूट करोगे, एक्टर को खड़ा कर दोगे ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट स्क्रीन के पीछे, तो क्या करेगा?
You know, if you can give me a breakdown of, you know, who, like, what does writer get, what percentage a writer gets of the allotted money, if you can break that down, like there is a general assumption, and what should be the ideal way.
If you are
Take 100 rupees.
starting off,
Take 100 rupees. How much is writer getting of that, of the whole production budget?
I'll tell you a project, my first project which I worked on.
Don't
I'll
say a
tell you-
name. I'll not cut everything out.
No. I'm not saying anything out. I'm not like revealing names. But I used to get paid by a big production house 10,000 rupees a month.
Okay.
And that's very less. That was a big budget show.
Okay.
It's not out, it got shelved. But there are some
And
people.
how long did
there's-
it went on for you as a writer?
Around, I was a writer's assistant there, but I was a writer to a certain capacity because I was writing a show for them. I was writing a podcast for them. And, you know, it's just not producers who are exploitative. I think it's everyone in the industry who's exploitative. You know, producers, I feel, get a bad rep. It's this sense of exploitation is so ingrained in you, right? So once what happened, I spoke up. I gave an idea for a plot. Okay. I was called and said, Rohit, you are a writer's assistant, not a writer. Be in your place.
Okay.
I felt really terrible, you know, because this person knows me closely. And that was a good idea which the writers took forward. Because the head writer ka idea wasn't as good as mine, he took it on his ego. The showrunner, basically. The showrunner is also one of the writers.
Okay.
So I think it boils down to exploitation, especially in India, because यहाँ पे यूनियन बाजी करोगे ना तो बॉयकॉट कर देते हैं as a writer. यहाँ पे and it also talks about privilege कि यहाँ पे पेट भी चलाना होता है, यहाँ पे स्ट्राइक पे बैठ नहीं सकते, धरना डाल के मैंने वर्सोवा के रास्तों पे नहीं कर सकते, होती है एक्सप्लॉयटेशन. और एक चीज, फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर कोई महंगा फिल्म मेकिंग कॉलेज हो, वहाँ से आप इंटर्न्स को पकड़ रहे हो, राइट? मिनिमम वेज है 20,000. वो बंदा को पॉकेट मनी चाहिए. 5,000 से वो अपनी बंदी को अच्छे डेट पे ले जाएगा. He'll take his girlfriend out on a good date. He will do it for 5,000, no? The same thing you do. You bring in a lot more experience, but it's a trade-off, right? It's also a problem with writers and professional people in the industry who would do it for a much less minimum wage. There should be an unsaid minimum wage. There should be unsaid unions, I feel. At least
We don't have that in Bollywood, right? No.
we do have SWA, right? Screenwriters Association
Okay.
India. But no offense to the SWA, but I don't see the SWA doing anything.
I think recently Ormax Media did a research about writers, and it said 60% are not happy with what they are paid,
Of
and they
course
feel they are underpaid. Sahil, coming to you as
Yes,
someone living in US, what is your take on all of this?
See, first of all, I was actually shocked that something like this is even happening in US, especially given that the amount of budget most shows and movies have is quite immense, and also a lot of those shows which have been cancelled or like we have been hearing that they are being cancelled or they are being hurt or whatever, are those which already have had few seasons till now, right? So it's weird that people like apparently they had writers who were getting paid, probably not fairly, but they were getting paid, and right now they are like they have to like have this strike and they have to like stop working and everything. I think I recently heard that even Daredevil Born Again is
Yeah.
not getting shooted because like, it's not getting shot because of the writers thing. So if even if like the biggest studio out there with one of the biggest passion projects is also like not being worked on, so I don't know what else is not. I'm a huge fan of Family Guy, and Seth MacFarlane is the guy who basically started, who like created from like Family Guy from scratch. But since 2014, I think he has been just a writer on the show, and even he's on strike. So he's basically a guy who created a show, then left it, and just is a writer right now. And he also has left the show or not working because of this. Feels like it basically feels unreal to me. How is this situation even like existing right now in the industry? So
So
that's why I was more interested on understanding how if Rohit knows any insights of the Hollywood industry as well,
I don't know
because
much about Hollywood, but
yeah,
it's
because
I क्यों
yeah,
क्यों चलता है पता है? I'll just lose my train of thought. I'll just add this one comment. So
sure,
when writers are signed, right, they're signed for content banks. तुम scripts बना के रख दो. You make a vault of scripts. Okay. So when we kick you out, when things are unfavorable for you, we at least have us. A lot of production houses bank on content bank, screenplay banks, especially things like sitcom, and late night shows. Like late night shows are also taking a hit, like late night with John Oliver and all these things, SNL.
yeah.
Because मैं तो script लगती है ना, मतलब regular churning of scripts लगती
I think all the shows are stopped, right? Late night
है.
shows.
Yeah. कैसे करोगे भाई? कैसे करोगे?
Apparently, they did like stretch a bit. They did shoot few episodes with whatever they had in their hands. But then the ratings were falling because they realized that people like they were not being written by like real writers. So that's why they stopped.
I think what really I find fascinating is that how good of a system US has that they all can go on a strike. And like, if people want to know more about, they definitely check out a video by Dan Murrell where he breaks down everything. If you don't know, like, if you're a kid, you don't know anything about what's happening, he explains everything, how it works, how they go to a different, lot from WB to Universal, and if they're standing in front of, in a line, anyone who's a member of a union cannot pass and go to work. They have to obey that they are any, and it doesn't matter which union they belong to. If one of the unions is striking and they are in front of the place you work, according to the rules, you cannot go and work. You have to stay out with them or don't go to work that day. So I think that's what writers are like the strike is doing. They just go to different lots where shooting is happening and they stop the shooting for the day or whatever. It's not like forcefully, but that's like a rule. So people who are part of the unions cannot go in and work. So they have to go home or just be there.
So they play the owner reverse card.
So
Pretty fun. There are no rules in place in India. Like होते हैं exploit भाई, होने दो भाई, पिक्चरें बनेंगी, audience नहीं आएगी.
no, but
Audience.
coming to my point, I have seen a trend that even some established writers, as I mentioned, for like Family Guy or for Daredevil, all those, or shows in which we are already in fourth or fifth season, in which people have been like writing the previous seasons as well. They have also gone on strike. So it looks like they obviously I'm assuming that these people are still a little more established in the industry. They are pretty much like that. They have been earning a lot, so they can afford to first of all go on strike. But I'm sure these people are going on strike for the rest of the people or the people who are just starting in the industry, and they are definitely fighting for their minimum wage. I don't think so. These people were anyway working on the minimum wage for the shows they are writing because they have been writing for so long. But yeah, I'm sure like they are like fighting on behalf of the new breed, which is good to see. I mean, I don't see something like this happening in India for any kind of art. But yeah,
India,
I think yeah,
India पे simple mentality है. हम पे तो आई नो.
exactly.
हम पे तो आई.
But Hollywood, I'm actually a little happy about that part. That at least someone else is also fighting for them.
Oh, wow. Even just one member is also sending super chats. Shelly, thank you for that. The last writer strike gave rise to reality TV. I hate reality TV. Nona, sweetie, why are you falling asleep? Are you not feeling well? No, I'm just relaxed.
We are chilling. We are relaxed
Instead of,
today.
just be active and all, I'm just, because podcast and to relax and discuss.
Yeah, you can
Nothing
just.
wrong with me.
You're
Thank
all,
you. Thank you for the super
how are
chat.
you doing? How are you doing? Thank you for the super chat.
You're our only member, so I think we'd like to know your thoughts. And as he said, right, like for last strike that happened, it gave rise to reality TV. And I think there's also one thing, right? Like, how long do you
2008
take
one?
it? What?
2008 one? Which one?
2008 one. Yeah.
Okay.
2008 one. The last one was 2008.
Yeah.
Like, how far can you take this strike? Now I've heard even the Actors Association is gonna go on strike. 1,000 of the members of SAG has already signed the document.
Lovely.
Yes, some have already signed in. The point is, there are some actors who are like creatively involved in other parts of the shows and movies as well. So those are actually anyway part of it. So maybe they are bringing in their other actor friends as well.
एक
Okay.
मिशन इम्पॉसिबल का सेट पे देख लो यार, कोविड के टाइम शूट हो रहा था डेड रेकनिंग, जान पे खेल के तुम्हारे लिए पिक्चरें बन रही है और तुम पैसे नहीं दोगे।
See,
भाई इनके बंगले तोड़वाओगे यार।
I don't see. I'm with the writers in the way that they should be paid fairly to what they deserve. And even I think for bigger blockbusters, if you are a big writer, I think if there should be a provision of that in the profits there should be percentage. If it's going to the actor, director, it should also include writers. But the idea that
Writers always left out.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I'm against that. They should be included. But the whole idea, that David Zaslav made so much money or Bob Iger made so much money, but the point is they are at a very much high level and operating at too many things.
I understand, but if your base falls, you won't. If there is nothing left to operate,
I think that's a strike is for, right?
yeah, matlab, okay, you make money, but it shouldn't be this. Of course, you will make more money. I stated this point in the beginning. You are a producer. You handle multiple things. You deserve it. ठीक है? But ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए ना कि मेरी घर का हीटर खराब है, मैं जम रहा हूँ बैठ के और सेल्टेक्स खुला है मेरे सामने और मैं and I'm typing my heart out and then you pay me $2.
So that's what I said. It's wrong. They should be paid
Exactly.
fairly. But being
There
a
should be page.
devil's advocate here, right? About canceling shows and all of that. And as you said, right, that compounding thing that they come, they are paid for what they write the script, and then they are left off because they have the scripts, right? I would equate this to hiring for any job. That if you're hiring for anyone and they did some work and now you are letting them go, that doesn't mean whatever work they have done they should be given back or destroyed because you are letting them go.
I think intention also matters here, right? I mean, like if you are asking someone to come into a job, like you're giving someone's job and making them do the entire job in maybe like 2 months and then using it for the next 8 months because you know that you don't need them anyway. So that I think that's also wrong, right?
So, but
the reason of firing should not be the fact that, hey, I don't want to pay you more, even though you are doing the work of the next 8 months.
That's the thing. And then there are the negotiations went for 6 to 7 months, 7 weeks. That's a long time. I mean, agar tab tak settlement, desperate times, desperate measures.
Yeah, that's
You can't
true.
blame anyone. You can't blame anyone.
No, not
yaar.
blaming. I feel as a industry, everyone to grow, things need to happen like that.
And Bollywood की बात है यार.
See, coming from a point, like we have been watching this, we have been going through this, all this. ठीक है, like everybody deserves a fair pay for the kind of contribution that they do, right? जहाँ बात आती है like original films की, right? Original writers को भी उतना नहीं मिल रहा है. I am not talking about Marvel writers or DC writers where they are using a IP that is given to them, right? वहाँ के उसका writer का point अलग है. Marvel writers are very different from original screenplay writers.
But even IP writing is not easy. Like I don't know, like why.
I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that they have that IP to work with, and then they work in the direction given by the CEOs like Bob Iger or Kevin Feige, or people like that, right? They have to work under that. एक तो वो pressure पहले से है that you are confined in a space, you can't imagine a lot of things, you can't use your imagination. जो character traits हैं उसी को रख के you have to do this. It makes it more difficult sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
I would-
And then we talk about people who don't get paid for amazing movies like Oscar winner movies, right? उन writers को भी अगर आप बोलो कि यार नहीं, you just will be paid for your writing and not about the movie that did so well, that's very unfair.
यार
यार, स्टंट डायरेक्टर्स को मिलता है यार, स्टंट डायरेक्टर्स को इतना पैसा मिलता है, राइटर्स को क्यों नहीं मिलता?
वो भी अपना गर्दन तुड़वाते हैं, ऐसा
हाँ।
कंपेयर तो नहीं कर सकते यार, पर देखो राइटर नहीं होता तो कुछ नहीं होता, कहानी
Yeah,
नहीं
exactly.
स्टोरी के बाद स्ट्रक्चर आती है, स्ट्रक्चर के बाद स्क्रीन प्ले आती है। तुम्हारा स्टोरी नहीं है, तुम बोल रहे हो AI will not be used as a tool, it will be used to replace you, and what is the compensation? We will call you once a year or twice a year to talk about the advancements in technology. It's like मेरा खून हो गया है, तुम मुझे अपने खूनी से बात करवा रहे हो।
Rohit, I'll say something about AI here, ठीक है? AI at the current position that we are, it will not replace anyone, especially the writers.
No,
At this point of time, it is not like original screenplay. If you ask it, what is AI? Basically, it's using the database that it has, right? Using that, it is projecting what can be or what cannot be.
right,
Okay.
right, and
All the database in the world, AI has access to it. It analyzes that data and then gives you output. It cannot replace someone's imagination to imagine something new. It can never do that.
right.
If you tell AI, write a new Star Wars story, it can't do that directly. Yeah, इतना input चाहिए होता है ना. Only a writer can tell an AI what a writer wants.
Right.
कितना input देना पड़ता है. We are using AI, ठीक है? I am using AI daily in my job, ठीक है? And to say that it will replace people, no. The AI just has to be used as a tool, and people have to be trained on it. थोड़ा change करना पड़ेगा. You have to evolve with technology. You can't just say that don't use the technology just for the sake of it कि it can replace people, right? You can't outright reject it.
See, I also use AI as a bouncing board. Okay? AI is very good for structuring. I'll tell you something. It will give you the most cliche structures. Then 60% entropy, 60% familiarity, 40% entropy. That's how anything is made. Any story or anything, any screenplay, any piece of art. वो 60% familiarity देती है तुमको, 40% तुम्हारी vision होगी. But where the producers are fuckers is they are saying कि so when you write, you will understand as a writer after you have written 4 to 5 features or short films. There's a pattern to your writing as well. There are things which will be common. Your trademarks, what you do.
Yeah.
So,
It is
right.
analyzing all of your doings, right? Whatever you write.
Yeah.
There is always a pattern to a
Also, one
writer's
more thing.
method
So
also, right?
AI
I
which
just
we are
wanted-
talking about right now that we have used is not as advanced as the one
Right,
which is already in the market
right.
for the industry.
Hmm.
I'm just
I think we are
completely-
comparing it with the AI which we are using, which is not which is free and
No.
which is like not that advanced. But
AI needs-
ChatGPT 4, ChatGPT 5, 6, they have already released this 6 right now. It is way more advanced right now. You can't just you don't even have to like put a text prompt. You can feed in a photo, a video as well. So I can now show them a Star Wars movie and ask them to write another, maybe the
Like-
next version.
Let's actually screw around with ChatGPT, okay? Let's actually have
Just
No,
till
that's-
then,
that's
just
what I'm saying.
I-
ChatGPT 4, you cannot compare with what we are right, like where the technology is right now, compared to what we are seeing in ChatGPT 4. It is way more advanced than that already. We have
And
already
see-
reached ChatGPT 6.
they will have separate budget on AI, which will be lesser than what they give to writers.
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously, it will be. Yeah. Obviously, there will be.
It's-
I'm
And
just
the thing-
saying,
And the
if a corporate has a tool, if a corporate has a tool that can do the work, I'm not saying it will improve the work. I'm just saying, let's say it does the 70% of the work that a writer can do. From a financial perspective, they will go for it.
of course,
And no matter how many strikes, no matter how many like these protests go on, people are gonna use technology at the end. You can't expect people to not use technology
Also,
just because
also,
people will lose their
for
jobs.
some reason,
no,
I feel-
that's a very unempathetic way of looking at things.
I know, but that's how corporate works, right? That's how they
that has to change, right?
see. Corporate has never corporate has never taken into account. सब बोलते हैं human effort, we are working as a people's company और ये वो सब बोलते हैं. And in the history of corporate, not just in media, corporate in general, in the history, कभी ऐसा नहीं हुआ कि यार इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन जब आया था, राइट, मशीन्स आई थी, बहुत पंगा पड़ा, 10 साल तक रहा कि नहीं मशीन्स यूज नहीं करनी. वो क्यों नहीं करेंगे? उनको पैसा कमाना है.
Your argument is like a condom can burst while having sex, so don't wear a condom. It's very redundant.
No. My argument is actually opposite of it. A condom is 99% effective, so you have to use it. Just because it's not 1% ineffective, you can't just say कि नहीं मुझे use ही नहीं करना, ये तो एक बार में चलेगा ही.
No, it's
Right.
not about using. Bhai, you use it as a tool. You don't use it as a replacement.
See, as empathy मैं बात करूँ, as a human, it should not do that. Corporate should never replace humans with robots or technology. नहीं करना चाहिए.
This is going in a
But
very
this is the world what is.
different direction. I just want to say,
Then-
Shelly has messaged that how would you deal with TV residuals when one, the series is only 8 episodes long, and two, all episodes are loaded at once. Shelly, can you just let us know what does this residuals mean and how does it work?
The thing is, right, one of the things which really disturbed me about the AI thing is WGA registered scripts. They want that, okay, the production houses. So the writers said that WGA registered scripts won't be used as databases. You cannot create an artificial writer. For example, I cannot create an artificial Taika Waititi by inputting 5 of his script.
You are saying
Fact-
that it cannot be,
Yeah.
it cannot happen.
It cannot happen.
It
That's
should
the
not
problem.
happen.
Yeah, it should
Your
not
point is it should not happen.
It should not happen. That's the proposition. Okay.
Yeah.
जो accept नहीं हो रही. So
वो नहीं होगा. वो
but I
कभी भी
think
नहीं होगा, dude.
yeah, that's the point, right? That it can never recreate Taika Waititi, even if it gets 5 records, because Taika Waititi.
No, it can. It
Taika-
can, dude. That's
can.
the whole point of AI. Nona, it will watch your videos for 2 hours and recreate a new video for your YouTube channel with your voice. इतना advanced level पे है वो. It
And
will
the
use
thing is-
every prompt that you use in your videos. It will use every pause that you take in your videos. Everything it will use just by watching you for 2 hours. It can do that.
exactly.
But can it create? See, if it studies me everything, and if he's, I asked ChatGPT, someone asked him, what will Nona think of that movie?
Yeah.
Will
it
he
can do
create
that.
the
It
same
can-
thing I
it
would
can-
think about that movie?
See, it can fucking do that. Not to the extent कि तू क्या बोलेगा. I'm saying कि maybe your thoughts will be different, but at the end of the day, it can create a video where you are reviewing the movie based on
See,
your
that's-
past reviews and everything.
That's what I'm saying, right? That's what I'm saying. It can recreate a video of me saying stuff, but it cannot create the stuff I will ever say. You get my
It's
point?
not like that. It can. It surely can. It is already doing it. The problem is that AI is already there where it can, study people and just make a virtual clone of them.
It can.
In fact,
Literally it
do a
can.
better job also, because I'll be very honest. If you think about it, also, even all 4 of us also, we have a set of vocabulary we have, right?
Right.
And even we know
Yeah.
about it. Even we
Yeah.
have a set of vocabulary. If they can take maybe a sample out of it, they can predict the next thought we say. It might not be our thought, but it could be a thought which could come out from us.
Come from our mind. Yes, exactly.
See, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying, right? You guys are coming to the aesthetics of it. I'm not talking about the
not.
aesthetics of it.
We are not.
We are not talking about just the voice modulation or the pause or your voice texture. We are not talking about that. We are actually talking about the content.
content.
See,
Because the
okay,
writer is coming up with the content.
forget me for a time. We were talking
Come up
about
with
scripts. 5 scripts are added to him. That doesn't make that AI will make a script which
I'll
Taika
tell you
Waititi
one
has
thing.
written.
I'll tell you one thing. Right now, if you can subscribe to ChatGPT 5, right? Upload all the Star Wars movies and say create a script for its sequel, the next movie. It fucking can, and it
I
will be a
just-
mind-blowing thing.
I just did that. I write a sequel to Thor: Love and Thunder, which crosses over with Spider-Man after No Way Home. Okay.
No, feed both the scripts. If you want
ऐसे नहीं होता. You can't just tell it with a sentence. अभी जो input है ना, it has to be very precise.
First
I
of
know.
all, that is the GPT right now is way more advanced than that. That's number one. Number
Yeah.
two, you have to feed like right now you have to feed a lot of information, and then they will produce a very accurate like solution.
Yet you have to detail it. इतने मिनट का इतने characters होने चाहिए, इतना ratio होना चाहिए. Like you have to prompt it very properly and very clearly. That's the whole.
In ChatGPT 6, you won't. That is my whole point. In 6, you can just upload a file, .mp4.
Rohit, let's say you use current GPT, right? You have to tell it that Thor's emotional state should be this. The next character, he should do this in this movie. You have to create a proper prompt for it.
Of course, I know that. But I'm just giving it a bare bones to see what it can do. Just ekdam, kuch nahi.
This is a good activity, because even with such less information, an old ChatGPT can tell you a lot. Imagine what it can do within just 1 year. I'm not talking about next 10 years. Within next 1 year, it would be able to feed. It will be able to produce.
Dude, they have created ChatGPT 4, 5, 6 under 12 months.
Yeah, we can already put like send in like people are actually doing it. People are actually like making a website on a paper, putting it in ChatGPT 5, and the website is created.
See, my point, right, is not questioning if ChatGPT can ever do it or not. I think that's not the point here.
Okay.
I'm not questioning the ability of what AI can do and if it really is what people are saying. That's not the point. The point is, one thing I actually don't agree with what the writers are going for is that AI cannot be used. And I'm not even not with the companies or whatever studios that how they want to use it, but it should be a collaboration of how to come together and see how we can take it ahead. Because the moment you say that you cannot do it, you put a stone, like put it behind a wall and never open that vault, that will never help anyone. Because
I'll give you an example, Nona. I'll just give you a very simple example, right? 18th century, first machines were created, right? The printing machine and the textile machines. And people were like, we'll lose our jobs. But what it actually did was create a skilled workforce that can operate that machinery, right? So their machine and human both came together and then did the work.
Yeah.
That's what you are saying. 100 years later, those 10 men who are operating a machine, now one person sitting in a control room can operate that machine, even bigger machine. Cut to today, you don't even need a person. Automated circulatory, automated machine lines, automated factories are everywhere where machine do things on their own. So eventually it is going to be only, AI.
Yeah, but I don't think that works in art. Any left?
I feel it. No, but it's not about does it work in art or not. But the point is that eventually we will be in a situation. Okay, for sure we have to understand one more thing. I know Rohit is here. He is a very creative person and everything. But a lot of art, especially in writing, and when I say writing, I'm not talking about just movies or TV shows. There is other kind of writing content as well. People who are writing on Instagram, people who are writing advertisements, banners, all the kind of things. All this is writing. All this is creative writing. A huge part of it, probably a majority part of it, is already something which is a copy paste. It is already based on a formula. It is already, we are doing the job of the AI. We are looking at whatever has been in the trend and we are creating something out of it.
But the only thing which humanity has about is one day we'll start noticing in the algorithm and we'll get sick of it. And something very wild will come.
Even that will be evolved. That's my whole point. If you look at today's content also out there, a lot of us is already formality and we are okay with it. There are so many ad campaigns going around for so many brands and it all feels the same only. And the intention of it is also that. Like the Open Happiness campaign of Coca-Cola has been there for almost 20 years now. And we're okay with it. Because that's how it is. Because we want it to be formula, based on a formula. A lot of writing is already based on a formula,
But then,
and we're just
then it's a good thing, right?
Because a real human is doing that.
Then it's a good thing, right? That
Exactly.
AI is taking away that thing, and now you have to come up with something new, which even AI cannot.
Now it is on writers' part too that you have to keep on being creative. You cannot keep on working on formula and still expect to be respected as creative writers.
That's the
You are
thing.
anyway copy writers.
So basically, AI is removing mediocrity.
Yeah,
I believe so. I believe so that AI is actually removing mediocrity first. It is not coming at Rohit's job. It is coming at those people's job who are creating mediocre content. And I believe that's where people like Rohit should not be fearful about it. But people who are doing mediocre work,
See, I
or
will here take
who
an
are
example of.
exploiting the fact that there's already a lot of content on their field, they should be fearful about it. Yes, but I don't think so. They are coming at the real creative work.
I want to take an example of copywriters. There are some websites, I search something and I go to the website. I'm like, dude, like they hired a person to write this. It's like the most obvious thing and makes no sense. Why is this an article? And there's someone who just, got these words and put it there and that's it done.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's what's gonna go away. Like I think that's already has gone away. You can tell
It has
ChatGPT
already
to write
gone
an
away,
article and they'll do it.
it will go away consistently. I have a friend, and she's actually working as one of those copy writers, and who's doing all this job and all that. And they are actually fearful about it. Even their boss has been telling them this. There are already tools out there who can do your job. But trust me, you are lucky that I'm still keeping you in the job. And they are also having this attitude that, hey, how can AI replace us? We are coming up with this and all that. But they're not realizing that somebody already can do that without their help. Even their boss can do this. Like, hey, my team has been doing this for the last 5 months. Tell me what do we have to care for the next 5 months? You can come up with all those things.
I feel अभी एक एल्गोरिथम पे बेस है, बट ज्यादा फंडिंग किया ना, इट विल गो आउट ऑफ हैंड.
What do you mean?
I mean,
AI की funding.
हाँ,
AI funding क्या है? The point
मैं
is,
AI पे
it
invest
is one of those things. See, right now Excel is free. MS Word is free, right?
Yeah.
AI eventually will become a tool like all these tools, which
Yeah,
would be just available, which will be a part of your laptop or your phone.
See the point is you cannot stop evolution. You cannot tell them to we'll lock AI in a vault and no one in the human world can use it.
no, it's not about vault, na? It's about being replaced.
See, that's what I'm saying. Nah?
That's the whole point. Like you are looking at it as a wrong thing. Like when AI comes in front of you, you are replacing me.
नहीं, सुनो
Point is, it is replace. It is not. First of all, it is not replacing any one particular person. It
देखो
is
एक
kind of
बात
a work.
बोल प्लीज, एक बात बोल लो. हम जो राइटर्स है पिक्चरों की ना, हमें वो टट्टी कॉपीराइटिंग की वो लिख, क्यों पता है? क्योंकि बड़े स्टूडियोज पैसे नहीं देते, ठीक है?
See, I think we
You're taking this as a personal thing.
See what okay. Sahil, one second, Sahil.
Okay. No, I
See,
don't
the
want to
thing
comment,
is,
but one thought.
I think we talked about that what writers are striking for is fair thing. They need to be paid fairly for what there, and there are more
What
things
they're
to discuss there. But we are on a different tangent here, where we're talking about the concept of AI, good or bad.
I तो feel it will come for everyone's jobs. मैं एक लाइन यूज करता हूँ हमेशा, बकरे की अम्मा कब तक खैर मनाएंगी,
Yeah, all that is great as like being used as a proverb, which has been used for many things, and that's what
Yeah,
AI is also doing. That's the whole point.
But
My
that's
point
the thing, right? I mean, it will remove mediocrity, but you also need mediocrity for excellence. You always
that's what I'm saying. The mediocrity will remain, but it will be done by AI. Why should it be done by people who are creating jobs out of it?
See, it's at the end of the day, it comes to survival of the fittest, right? It
Yeah,
comes down to the best of the best will only be there.
Because even today also, like let's say there are 100 people who are doing their mediocre job, there are more than 100 people who want to do that job now. It's not that those are the only large 100 people to do their mediocre job.
Jurassic Park में ये पूरा argument है.
I know.
You did not know what you had. You stood on the shoulders of giants, okay, and just rewrote what they did, and then you slapped a label, put it in a plastic lunchbox, slapped a label on it, and now you're trying to sell it.
Well, that's what Disney is doing with Marvel. That's okay.
Evolution is not always a good thing.
That is also
true. See, evolution is the only thing.
No, it's not.
See,
but change is the only constant thing.
See, we are on this earth to evolve instead of anything else. That's the only goal which we needs to.
But that's a thing, right? Evolution.
But Rohit, imagine this. Do you realize that what we are doing right now, even that wouldn't have been possible without evolution? of technology?
Yeah,
Do you
we'll
realize?
not be sit here. We don't have Wi-Fi. We don't have anything.
Do you realize the job you are doing right now, the job you have right now, even that wouldn't have been possible without this.
See, that's
You
the
want
thing.
to feel, you want to believe that no, I'm still living in the 1960s where people
No,
were
but it
still.
will backfire, right?
Did it backfire for you?
It did backfire. Didn't it lead to the decline of the quality of content you consume?
So that's what I'm saying.
So
See.
now what happened?
See,
No. I'm telling you, and that's why I think we need AI. We could have
No, AI
you know,
will produce
avoided the
excellent content.
mediocrity.
AI will produce Oscar-winning movies.
It will not.
That's-
Okay,
It
that
will.
is.
It will.
I think we are already doing that. I think we are already doing that without AI. That's
It
what I'm
will.
feeling.
See,
I feel we are already creating
Oscar
Oscar-worthy movies or Emmy-worthy shows without the AI. That's
वो
what I
algorithm तो है ही यार. वो
exactly.
algorithm है.
see,
I think
any
If we are okay with human beings following an algorithm, what is the issue with
I
a
feel
machine following algorithm?
I feel it's not a like the more I'm discussing this, it's not a tool problem. It's a human problem.
Yeah,
but isn't
that's what I'm
everything
saying.
is?
If it's a human problem, then it is unfair to comment on whether AI should be involved
Let's
or not.
see. I really want to see where this goes in the next 2 years, and I want to
Yeah.
come on a podcast.
I believe since we are okay with human beings, or we are like, or whatever we feel about human beings following an algorithm, we should have the same feelings for AI following that same algorithm. I saw. Do you know about this fact that there are some AI avatars on Instagram right now? Like they are like AI bots.
Yeah, I know. They're like AI
Influencers?
celebrities.
Yeah. Sorry.
AI
They're like
celebrities.
Yeah, like they are actually personalities who are just an AI. It is like they have an Instagram page, they have a photo, they put photos and videos and all that, and now they are putting up live videos in which they are actually walking around in real world, in our real world. Okay, and that's going to change even the influencer market as well, and that should happen because the influencer marketing is already based on a formula. A trend comes, or it could be dance move, it could be dance trend, or it could be a song trend, and all the influencers with whatever body type they have, with whatever camera qualities they have, and all those things, they're doing the same thing, singing the same songs, they're dancing on the same steps. So why can't an AI do that? Why you have issues when an AI starts doing the same thing, which we are already okay with humans doing it? Because as a consumer,
I think
as
it's
a
about the
consumer,
morality. I think it's about the morality of who controls it. Really,
but the
for
point is,
example,
it's still happening the same. The point is, when you're looking at somebody on the screen, they are still virtual to you.
Huh.
How does it matter if it's actually a real person or if it's
it's
an
about how we engage with it and how we are allowed to engage with it. Ready Player One देखी है?
हाँ जी.
James Halliday के तूने देखी है ना?
Yes.
James Halliday के under Oasis was a democratic place, right? Which was being threatened, which people rose against. It's about the morality of the person who's using it, yeah. It's about.
But even in that film, right? But at the end, they stopped for I think some 3 days. It will not be open. You have to live in the real world.
Exactly.
So the people
Those
have
are
to
rules
come together for it, right? You cannot just end it or stop it, right?
तो strike तो उसी के लिए हो रही है ना.
See-
I'm not saying use AI don't use AI. I'm saying use AI as a bouncing board. Use AI for structure.
See, I'll
Basic structure.
No, I feel the humans are already doing. As I mentioned earlier, we are already living in a formulaic world. AI is just replacing that part of it, and it will just replace that part for first.
यार मुझे लगता है ना मतलब कभी-कभार
बकरे की माँ वाली बात होगी afterwards. But right now, I think we are already living in a world where we are getting mediocre content from people who should not be making content, and AI is just replacing that first.
just want to take Shelly's message. I will be on board with AI when it is combined with 3D printing. I just want to say tea, Earl Grey, hot, and be done with it. That was a Star Trek reference, by the way. Sorry, I have not seen Star Trek. She also says, thank you, Dr. Malcolm. I'm guessing for Sahil. But, see, what I believe in, right? Like the whole point of evolution. We talked about 1960s. There are more people doing what they like, the creative work today compared to 1960s or 1860s or 1760s.
right.
Because they were spending more time on things which they should not be. To live, to find food, to fight and earn $1 to they come home and find rice. They were dying
Yeah, right.
early. They were dying early. Today they are living longer. and they have the option to do something they like, which I am an example of, or you are example of. You love writing, that's why you're doing it. You're not doing it just to, So my point is, I'm not.
वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस आ सकती है एक
See, I'm not questioning the issues you are facing as a writer today. I'm not saying that's not valid, but I'm saying the point of evolution is that we create things in our life to make our lives better. We are gonna go to the Wall-E world because that's a natural progression of it. We will end up, the earth has to die because it rose, it became earth, and it has to die one day. So nothing can stop that evolution, like we cannot stop it.
इवोल्यूशन से कब डी एवोल्यूशन बन जाएगा तुम्हें पता भी नहीं
See,
चलेगा
but that's not in our hands, right? That is the process. You cannot end that process. You cannot stop that. You cannot halt that process.
लॉ ऑफ एंट्रोपी भाई लॉ ऑफ एंट्रोपी सो लॉ ऑफ एंट्रोपी पता है ना तुम लोगों को
Explain it for the audience and me.
सिंपल भाषा में हर एक पार्टिकल एक फ्रीक्वेंसी पे वाइब्रेट करती है ठीक है उसकी बेस फ्रीक्वेंसी होती है वो धीरे धीरे वाइब्रेट करते करते उसकी इतनी एनर्जी पकड़ती है एक टाइम के बाद कि वो डिस्ट्रॉय हो जाती है एंड हर पार्टिकल इन द यूनिवर्स हैज अ टेंडेंसी फॉर दैट आई थिंक ह्यूमन बीइंग्स आर द मोस्ट एंट्रोपिक थिंग न्यूनेस के चक्कर में वी विल ऑलवेज गो टुवर्ड्स सेल्फ डिस्ट्रक्शन आई नो दैट इज द नॉर्म मैंने नाइलिज्म की किताबें चार्ट खाई हैं और इसके बारे में मैंने बहुत बात
And again, I would like to bring one point that I like how you are trying to put the blame on AI for this, but the blame has already been on the humans, and
But I'm not saying it's on AI. But I'm not saying it's on AI. I'm saying it's on people. That's why I'm saying that
yeah, exactly.
It's about the morality of the people using the tool. Whether, for example, it's about I can have a gun, right? It can be for self-defense.
It did not start at AI. To people using AI, that's my whole point. I think we are already on that path. Even without AI, we were already on that path. That's my whole point.
The log line is basically we are fucked, right?
Yeah, we were fucked way before AI even came into the picture.
It's about a child finding a father's shotgun, like it's that humanity is like that. उसको shotgun मिल गई है भाई अब वो अपने
shotgun बहुत पहले मिल चुकी है. Shotgun AI नहीं है.
हाँ No, I'm talking about humanity in general. I'm not talking about AI.
Yeah.
Just want to clarify, Shelley called Dr. Malcolm Rohit, not Sahil. Sorry, because he was quoting from Jurassic Park. But I want to bring us something new to this debate. We talk about how AI is going to take away jobs and this and that. But I'm like, it's going to actually, people who will use this tool to enable themselves.
Right.
How people use social media to, biggest example is Khabe. From working, at a restaurant, and now today he's a celebrity. What did he do? He just did this. But that enabled him to, live a better life today. Do something he wants to do in his life. Similarly, there's someone sitting, he had a dream of I'll become a writer, I want to make movies. And, he doesn't have the resources. He doesn't have, the privilege of being there. Or, if not privilege, the point that he cannot leave his life and continue his maybe he doesn't have, he's not a situation to leave everything and just live his life, just to be what he wants to.
And there are people who are stuck in jobs which they want to leave. Why can't they get the opportunity to
they will use AI. They don't know what, how to frame a story. They'll use AI to make it. They'll use to generate concept arts in 10 15 years, whatever. I can able to create a film of my own vision without having to go to a producer to pitch it, without spending dollars and dollars, without changing my script because I have to earn that dollar back. The whole studio system will be gone away. It will perish, and whoever is in that system, that I need to go to a studio, I have to pitch them money, they have to pay me, they have to pay and all that system will be gone. It will be abolished. That's where we are going, because that creator, because AI is basically in a way also giving power to individuals that they can tell their own stories without needing any of that. So it's basically an antithesis to what the today's system is. And if both the writers and the studios don't understand this, that tomorrow the biggest blockbuster will be on YouTube, not in the cinema. The next Avengers Endgame in 10 years will be made by 10 people.
Again,
just like last year's Oscar-winning movie just was made by 5 people.
I feel it might democratize art. That's there. It will democratize art. It's in such a. See, I also share these views, but but मुझे ज़्यादा वो दिख रहा है, you know, because human tendency is of destruction.
See,
I'm-
I'm with you. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna destroy this whole system. What is considered the system of making film today.
Then good ना, मतलब I feel power democratize होनी चाहिए. मतलब for example, if I don't know how to storyboard, right? ठीक है, if there is a good storyboarder, ठीक है, who can use AI, ठीक है, to storyboard better, because मैं उस level पे नहीं कर पाऊंगा, शायद मैं वैसे prompts use ही ना कर पाऊँ, ठीक है, जैसा एक storyboarder करेगा, you know, जैसे वो उस टूल को यूज करेगा, वो उसको कस्टम ट्वीक करेगा. आई थिंक पाइपलाइन छोटी हो सकती है इससे, you know.
See, even that, right? Like now
I
the
feel
point
it's
is
not
what?
even about pipeline. The
Yeah.
point is that let's say right now we are able to get like 10 movies. Okay. But there are better stories out there to be told, but those people are not getting those resources.
Right.
Why are we not getting those movies? Like why as an audience are like what have we done to like not get those movies? Even though they were better movies. But we are getting only those kind of movies which maybe they have a pipeline, but
But it is the audience's fault, right?
Yeah.
They are studying your algorithm and they are studying who showed up.
but like people have ideas, right?
So it's a closed circle. You will.
It's not a close. Okay,
No,
you want to
अरे
say
यार,
it's okay.
I am totally with you, Sahil.
Yeah.
I am just saying whichever way you go, you'll get butt fucked. Okay.
But I would rather get Buckford in a way.
Yeah,
in which
by good
I'm getting
On my own
I get
terms,
okay.
basically on my own terms.
on my own terms.
On my own terms, yeah.
I agree.
See, you're talking about storyboard, right? Just
about
think.
consent.
If I want to make a film, okay, I have a story and I'm using AI to develop, make it better. Then I'm going to, create concepts art, then storyboard. That's too much work for me. So I would like to know someone who knows storyboarding, but has the art of using AI also to help them. Isn't that the evolution of a storyboarder then?
Yeah.
Simply again, if I just have an idea, AI can be
Think
helped.
about it.
I
Now,
go
like,
to a
at one
writer.
time,
Yeah,
there were people who had
help.
ideas and they could not create those storyboards as well because they did not have those tools like on which storyboards are created today.
Tools or money or like
No,
social
honestly, at one
the
time,
circle of being
there was a
there.
day when we did not have MS Word, and we still used to have documents, right? But even today we have documents.
Yeah,
But there are more documents because there are more people who are able to write those documents.
With
because they have
autocorrect.
those access of, exactly. Why couldn't we have
देखते हैं यार कहाँ जाता है. I feel it's a brave new world also we live in right now. You know, मतलब this is uncharted waters. We don't know what's gonna happen. मुझे तो भाई डर लगता है जब AI क्लोन कर लेती है किसी के गानों को. You know, that is a little scary.
see, we will reach a time where as Sahil said, right, they are AI creators. Like AI itself is a creator now. It has its own whatever. But there'll be a time where it will become
it's not
saturated, and we will long for human connection. And throughout history, that has always been proven.
Right.
That nothing can replace that human connect. Tomorrow, when there are 1,000 AI YouTube channels reviewing films, people will get bored because they know it's not a real person like me, and they'll choose a human to watch instead. And that's why I feel that AI cannot replace me, because
Can
AI
we-
cannot replace my human connection until I am alive.
That's why I feel,
Lockdown.
there is nothing for you to be scared about because it's going to replace only those things which are already based on a formula. And if
हाँ,
you
मुझे
are
पता है.
benefiting out of that,
पता है साहिल, मुझे पता है. I know what you're saying.
Nobody's
I know.
saying, it's not just saying for you, but we are sitting here today and
Exactly.
Shelly is here and she says, so will AI beat, wait, what? So will AI beat to movies what iTunes was to music? I have introduced so many different musicians because of music streaming. How would you answer that?
For example, let me think about this. It's a very nice question.
not really. I mean, like,
But AI should not just be pertinent to movies.
iTunes did to music was that it brought access to music to the customer
Right.
or the consumer, right? That was the first thing that it did compared to how we used to live earlier, right? Like we used to buy individual albums or cassettes and all those discs.
But it took away the power from the labels, right? मतलब it helped the artists more because artists.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, but eventually the biggest thing it did was the access of music to more people, or maybe access to more music to the same people who wanted to listen to music. Before iTunes, we did not have access to music. I could say you only had access to only those music which were part of those CDs or discs or cassettes which you could just buy basically. out there in the market, in the real world. AI is doing way more than acts.
I think AI is not just pertinent to movies or music. It'll
I think
change the
Google
sphere of
did that. Google gave access to information, but AI is helping you do something out of that information.
might be
It is way
like
more than access.
have you seen the logo for Spectre from James Bond?
Yes, I have.
हाँ so AI is like that और उसके 8 पाव सब जगह रहेंगे. All the legs of Spectre will be in every fucking industry you can see, but I hope it does us well more than harm, because I've seen too much dystopian fiction also. So I don't want it to end up in a 1984 scenario.
We're already living in 2023.
I mean, yeah, we are living in Orwellian time. We are living in the future Orwell dreaded of in 1980. So I mean, we are living in the Blade Runner world. Okay.
I just want to wrap this with us bringing up some solutions to, if we can. So they Shelley was talking about residuals, right? That when they were reruns of the TV show, writers used to get paid for that. But now on streaming, it's just 8 episodes and there are no reruns. Someone just binges it and it's over. So it's in a way like a one-time payment. And that show can be now I want to know, like, it's my like a question I have, like, when a show is removed, like, Netflix or HBO, now they're removing shows from their platform, like, why?
So they
Contract
have lost the rights.
No, not rights, the show they have created themselves, because it has not done well for them, so they are removing it. So I don't understand.
Because they don't want to make a
It takes up a lot of load on their database, right?
That's what I was thinking.
To keep those
The
shows
technical
running.
problem. Okay.
Yeah,
there is a
issue
technical
that they have
problem.
there has to be somebody in the back end who's managing those shows are being like run smoothly on the Netflix app and the website or whatever. So why do they want to like spend that much amount of like human hours or whatever somebody's work?
And for example, you wouldn't want your streaming service to be too bloated as well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean,
If it is not working well, it also means that you have a lot of content out there which people are not watching. Why do you want to have that? It's very simple. Like there are few things in your house also. You eventually throw it because when you are not using it, or maybe it is not usable, right? Like it's not like it was using that space before also, but you would want to like replace it maybe with something better.
Why is Rohit smiling?
just like my mom threw me away.
Exactly how I should have. That was my next example.
Let's talk about a show called 1899. It
just
was
Just come from the loop.
it was made by the makers of Dark Side, if you would know.
Yeah.
And it was darkened. The show was cancelled.
Yeah.
And
After
personally, I
seeing
didn't like the show, honestly.
For one.
I watched it and I was not really
But people were crazy about it. I remember everyone was whoever watched it, they were calling it even better than Dark or
Yeah.
all that.
But what is your take on that Netflix cancelled it?
So so that was definitely not because of the technical issues and all that. That is just maybe somebody out there just like you who did not enjoy it and they just wanted to cancel it. I think it was just a creative decision.
It was also pointed out it was
a bad
one of
decision.
it was a very expensive show.
Yeah, it was. Again, I believe that I think this was just a human decision. Maybe somebody like did not find worth putting money in that, even though the audience loved it. All these like eventually depends upon who is creating that show, and if they are not happy in investing in it for whatever reasons, it could be any reason. Obviously, like it doesn't have to be a creative reason that hey, I do not like it intellectually or something like that, or maybe money. It could be some other reason also. Maybe they wanted to put their interest in some other show, and they did not want to like spend their time on this show. Even that could be one of the reasons. It's the same reason why we see even other shows also getting cancelled, or maybe like they have like some extra seasons coming up, but then they close it because they want to maybe spend some time on some other shows. I mean, like if you think about a very bad example, but Never Have I Ever ended in season 4. No matter what you think about the show, but there is an audience of about that show out there in the market, and they had 4 seasons. Honestly, they could have stretched it to season 5 as well, right? But obviously, I believe those makers wanted to do something else as well in their lives, and that's why they maybe like closed and they
If
stopped.
you're working on a show like Never Have I Ever, I would rather do anything in life.
No. I was just giving an example that even it's not about just good shows being cancelled. Even some bad shows or maybe like the guilty pleasure shows are getting cancelled because those people want to get some other guilty pleasure shows, right? So it's even those could be reasons. It doesn't have to always be about whether it is like quality show or it is not. It does not have quality.
मतलब
Shelly,
क्रिएटर के लिए क्वालिटी अगर ड्रॉप कर रही है ना मतलब
हाँ,
उसके
a creator's idea of quality could be different from our idea of quality.
Shelly says, I did not like 1899 as well. A show that is not watched much will be removed to make room for a show that is watched. However, those who got paid already for it.
Yeah, fair enough. One thing which really struck me. So, movie had this film called Dust, okay, which I watched back in 2020, okay. And now one of the people, a person from my page, texted me, I can't get Dust anywhere. It's not on Netflix. It's not on DVD. It's not on. It's not on Netflix. It's not on any streaming services. It's not on DVD. It's not a movie. Then what happens to these movies? Like it just go away from the face of the earth.
I think
I mean-
they should be uploaded to YouTube. Like, I don't get it.
I feel tangibility honi chahiye. Like I texted the director of that film. Hey, what happened to your film, man? It was a pretty good film.
And reply?
Nahi.
I thought you'll now say he replied what happened.
मतलब नहीं डायरेक्टर भी चिल कर रहे हैं यार मतलब डायरेक्टर इज आल्सो लाइक भाई अपना काम मत कर
I think as a creator, you just want to move on, right? Move to the next thing. You can create better if it didn't work out. But let's try to find a solution for this residual thing. How can it happen?
higher pay
No, but
Higher
how
pay.
higher? How higher? Like if there are no reruns, right? There's no streaming doesn't give you the profit of what has happened because it's not directly related to that.
I mean you can make an estimate and do that
No, but
You have
it's
to
like see for them it's you cannot directly correlate that your show made us so much money. It's very hard. It's about you can only the merit you get is that how much it was watched, how many people completed it.
I feel there should be a pay per stream kind of thing like I feel and it should be per episode or per season
But
I don't
that's not the amount of money they are making themselves. How will they pay?
fair enough yeah I don't have an answer
So I was thinking that if season 1 is commissioned, you got your payment, everything, and if the show has worked and you are asked for season 2, you should get a higher pay.
okay
And you should
I think
get
that
a
happens even in movies also. Even in sequels, you do get paid more than the first.
yeah.
part.
No, but I'm saying that then you get some percentage of interest for season 1 also because you're writing season 2
I think
also.
that happens. That happens even in general, like normal jobs as well. Like as you work, like every 6 months, 1 year, you do get increments, you do get promotions and all that. So I think it's a very common thing.
Okay. Now I don't know if that's really something that happens in writing or will this solve anything. But I think that's a good way to, credit the writers if the show has worked.
यार रेसिजुअल की बात बाद में करते हैं पहले तो भाई जो लिख रहे हैं अभी उसके लिए पैसे दो
The real
first pay me well for the thing I am writing one thing I don't have a complaint about like compared to industry standards I get paid well and my ideas are entertained like I feel very lucky where I'm working. Of course, it's frustrating at times. Anybody would. I feel very lucky because I've learned a lot. When you work with a big production company, right, you also not only get to know the creative side of it, you also get to know the business side of writing. So if I'm writing for a business guy, I know how to write for a business guy. I know exactly what to give him. But I also know how to put in my own things. I feel adaptability is important. If
you have to
don't
survive,
adapt,
right?
If you don't adapt, you won't survive. Yeah.
I think this was a very
आज गिटार बजा यार आज तो गिटार बजा आज शैली के लिए
if I could play a guitar, it would not be lying there in my every video.
Nona would start his intros with the guitar. Welcome
I
to
wish,
Nona.
man, I wish. But this was a fruitful discussion, guys. I think we talked a lot of cool stuff. I really enjoyed talking about it, breaking it down. I hope people listening, they can add their inputs also. And guys, again, if you enjoy, our podcast, definitely subscribe, like, share, and also if you want to join, interact with us while we
Give
are,
us our minimum wages.
yeah, become members and you can support us just like Shelly. So thank you, Sahil, Rohit. Any last words? Not last words, final words.
Adios. Adios.
Adios, motherfucker. I'll be back.
So, guys, next podcast you can expect some guest. We are planning something cool. So that will be a video podcast. This is just an audio podcast.
Guys, wanna do something like the Thor script, Thor story I generated, right? Just Thor and Spider-Man. Just wanna read it. Might just be fun.
Let's make it a member exclusive video.
Okay.
Yeah, and also like try to like give a better prompt and like have a like more structured prompt.
No,
Fun.
it's kind of nice. It's like I want to see what it can do with the bare minimum. Like खाना पानी ना दे के जो plant उग सके ना, वो plant मतलब मस्त लगता है मुझे.
Let's plan a stream where we just ask AI to improve Ant-Man
We should do
or
that.
something fun
Yeah,
will
see,
come
I
up with.
gave an idea to Nona already in the group also that we should have like a podcast in which we should ask AI to create like a set of structure or the questions for the podcast, and we should see how that works for us compared to how we do it just generally.
Interesting. We should.
Just structure, not the
I
script.
just
the structure.
wish there was an AI I could tell, and the AI would do all this stuff for me.
Jarvis. Jumbo Jarvis.
See, so now let's try do it. Let's try that.
Cool.
We should. I mean, we should be open.
Alright, guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Keep eating out.